In this video, I'm going to talk about mail merge and creating a mail merge envelopes. In one of the previous video, I talked about mail merge letter, and in this one, I'll do a envelope. So the idea of mail merge is you've got lots of people, and you want to send them a letter. So you can do the mail merge letter first, and then do the mail merge envelope, so that you don't have to type people's addresses on the envelopes in this case, and in the letter on the letter itself, and you can customize it. So I'm going to start a blank document, and I'll go to mailings. In the mailings, I'm going to go to start mail merge. Now this envelope is only useful if you want to send only one person an envelope. So you can go to the envelopes option here, and then you can type in your address and the other person's address in the places. So this is the delivery address, so this is the address what the person's receiving, and this is the return address, which is your address. And then you can go to the options here, and then you can choose what size of the envelope it is, because your printer is going to print it, so you need to tell it which size of envelope you are using, and then you just go to print, and that's for single one. But if you wanted to print it where you had a list in which you had people's names and addresses, then you have to go through the mail merge option. So you can click on start mail merge, and if you wanted, you could go through the step by step. So I'll do that, and I'll also show you the other way, which is this way. So for people who are new, step by step is easy, but if you already know, you can jump forward and then you can look at that option. So I'll go to step by step, and I'll choose envelopes, because in this case I want to do envelopes, and I'll click next. Now here, there's nothing to do here. You can just ignore this part. This is the second part here, is if you already had an envelope from last year, but even if you don't, this is not a big deal. And I'll click next. Now before you go to this next step, which says select recipients, recipients is show me where your list of names are. When I click next, it's going to open up the envelope options, which is this window here, and what it's asking me to choose is what size of envelope it is, because you see when I choose size 14, you see the picture is changing here on the bottom, because it's going to arrange things accordingly so that it knows where to put the addresses. Okay, so I'll just choose size 10, which is one of the common sizes, and I'll click OK. Now look on the right hand side, it's asking me, do you have an existing list? So if you have already typed it, say in Excel, or in my previous video I had created one, then you can do that. If you wanted, you could type a new list, and you can create your list, and then you can start typing people's names and addresses here. But I already have an existing list, so I will just browse to it, and then I'll open my charity list donor list 2013. This usually opens if you go to my documents and you try to open this file directly, it will open in Access. So if you don't have Access, you may not be able to open it, but you can always open it through Word. So I'll double click on it, and these are the names I had typed, and I can double click here if I wanted to edit it. Okay, I can click OK, and I'll click OK. Now the next step is arrange your envelope, so I'll click next. Now look on the left hand side, my cursor is blinking in the left hand corner, and this is where our address goes. So if you want, you can actually type your address. You know, in some companies you may not need to, because the envelope will already have that address there, or you may have a label. So it's better if you don't, then you don't have to worry about putting a label either. So you can put your address there. Now the person's address goes around here somewhere, so you have to click here so that you get this box. So because you need to make sure you get the box with your cursor blinking in there, so that your address, the delivery address will go there. So now I want to put the address here, so I can use this address block here, or from the right hand side I can use this address block. So I can click it, and then this is the way it's gonna look. Now what it does is it's saying only include the country region if different than United States. But if I wanted all the countries to be listed in my addresses, I have to choose the second option. Otherwise, wherever the country was USA, it will not put it there. So I would rather do that. And if you had imported the list from Excel and you found that there was a discrepancy, the words were not matching up, you can use the match fields here, and then you can tell it that which field is which one. You can match it so that there is no confusion there. Okay. You can also choose to remove the company name. So there is a bell here. I can click it to remove it. Okay. And I'll click OK. It puts the address block there. That's fine. You don't need to worry about it. In the next section it will get clear. I can click next to preview the envelope. And here it shows me everything, how it will look. Now if you wanted, you could go to the edit recipient list and you can remove some people from the list. Now if you had a lot of records, you can even filter it, and then you can filter it by, say, last name or city or country, and I can say show me USA people. Now I can remove the check marks from those people, which might be easy to find. So I'll just go back to filter and clear all, so I get all my results. Click OK. Now this is your generic envelope, which is common to everybody, so you can make things bold and italics as you needed it before you do the merge part. And if you want, you can even save it. Even if you don't, that's not a problem. Now I'll click next to complete the merge. Now before I hit the print button, I would rather see it, so I'll click on edit. And you can even say that show me records 1 to 10, 1 to 2, 10 to 100, which is fine. You can also do this in a letter, and I'll click OK for now because I only have 4. I'll click OK. Now it opens a new file, which is what my final envelope is. And so this is envelope number 1. This is envelope number 2. And you see the names automatically have been added. And all of these are in the same file, so I can now print it. Just to show you what it looks like, I'll go to print preview, which I've added from here. Just print preview button. And look up here on the right hand side. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here are all my envelopes, and I can print it. And I'm just gonna close this. I don't need to save it right now. I'll say no to it. I'll even close this one. I'll go from file and then close it. And I'll close it. And I don't need to save this either. Now I'm just gonna open a new one. New, blank. Now if you wanted to do it the manual way without using the wizard from the mailings, start mail merge, you can go straight to envelopes. And then it's asking me about the envelope options. You can choose the sizes. I click OK. Now you can select the recipient. That is, do you have the list? Have you typed it? Or do you want to type a new list? I can say I have an existing list. You can also use Outlook contacts if you had it. So I can choose existing list. Open my list. Now all I have to do is start adding my information. So this is the corner where my info goes. And now the people's addresses will go here in the bottom, so I'll click here and I can add the address block. Choose what you want. I'll say make sure you put all the countries, not just anything besides the United States. I want even United States to be listed. I'll click OK. Now if I wanted to preview my letter, I can use the preview results. And now I just need to do the last step, which is edit individual. Or I can print it directly if I wanted to. And if you wanted to edit your list, you could always edit the recipient list from here. You can remove check marks from people you did not want to add to this mailing. And you can double click here to edit your list. And you can also filter things so that you can find the people you want to remove or add. So other people, you can take care of it. So that's it for mail merge in envelopes. In the upcoming video, I'll try to talk about how to use it for emails. Thanks for watching.